opinion, this step was very good step for the Palestinian side, and I think that Hamas showed the flexibility when it released the dead bodies of the hostages and will release a group of hostages also on Saturday. I think that Hamas recently um, was able to make Netanyahu miss the chance to make more excuses. I think now the Israeli far-right government is making excuses not to complete a deal, and we've seen Hamas announcing that it is ready to to send all the hostages in one round, which was what Hamas wanted from the beginning, with a complete comprehensive ceasefire. But Netanyahu had concerns about the Israeli Knesset reaction, and he was afraid of being prosecuted later. That's why he requested the three-phase agreement. He also wanted to have a guarantee from Trump. What we have seen that Benjamin Netanyahu puts hurdles and obstacles not to complete and finalize the deal, to not go as planned. And when we talk about this, the ceasefire agreement, he expected it either to fail or to continue. The mediators, the most prominent of which, Cairo, is trying tirelessly to finalize the deal, and it is bearing the responsibility of completing all three phases. We have seen the Cairo initiative to be proposed tomorrow in the Arab Summit in Riyadh. It will consist of Egypt, Jordan, Palestine, and the GCC countries.
Well, now, Hamas said in its statement that the Israeli occupation forces deliberately killed the detainees. Now, what does this say about the Israeli government prioritizing political survival over the detainee safety?
In my opinion, this is really foul. I think the one who killed the hostages is the Israeli side. The Israeli side today is regretting the death of children who was actually the Israeli troops killed 20,000 Palestinian children. We're talking today about only 2 children, and also killed by Israel, not Hamas. Who killed them is the US weapons with Israeli hands. And we need to recall what happened when the Israeli troops killed the hostages, when they raised white flags who were held captives in the Gaza Strip. The Israeli side had the Hannibal phase, the Hannibal rule to kill the kidnapper and the kidnapped, to not have a negotiation or a trade-off. That's why the Israeli side is the one killing its own hostages. Cairo has offered very generous offers to the Israeli side, which was completely ignored. And especially here we're talking that Israel overruled the right of response in the 11th and 12th days. Since the first month of war, Israel destroyed a wide range in the Gaza Strip and killed tens of thousands of Palestinians, and it continues to do so. And there were complete neighborhoods that were before killing those detainees, Hamas offered to have a ceasefire agreement and to hostage exchange, and Israel refused. And today we are suffering and of women and children being killed, and also Israeli hostages. Who killed them must be held accountable. Who killed them was Smotrich and Ben Gvir and the Israeli army. If Israel resents this, I think that the resentment is not on the Palestinians who died and got injured, more than 50,000 martyrs and 100,000 injured. Also, the Israeli side, on the Israeli side, 8,000 was announced dead. This is an unprecedented figure. Only in the 1973 war, there was 8,000 soldiers on the Israeli side killed, and I think for this war, Benjamin Netanyahu is the one to be held accountable. He did not listen to Egypt. He did not listen to the international community. Only listened to the far right officials, and I think he is one of the most extremist characters against the Palestinian people.
Right. Now, following this exchange, what are your expectations for the upcoming second phase of the ceasefire negotiations, especially as Hamas has stated it is already ready to release all remaining detainees in a single exchange, or if Israel proceeds with the next phase?
I think that Benjamin Netanyahu is only stalling, and this ceasefire agreement will be completed one way or another. There is a lot of pressures being applied on Netanyahu. That's why he wants phases and not a single shot ceasefire agreement. Consequently, in the upcoming month, Netanyahu wants to stall more, not to dissolve the Knesset, and I think Hamas showed extreme flexibility, especially in the following day to ending the war, to actually not be influential in Gaza and after the ceasefire, and this is what actually happened. And we have seen Israel today requesting even more, requesting Hamas to give up their weapons and to actually be removed from Gaza entirely, which is impossible to happen. But if Israel really wants to have a clear vision in this regard, which is disarming the resistance and not Hamas, it should listen to the Palestinian proposals and to the Egyptian proposal establishing a Palestinian state on the borders of 1967, disarming Hamas, and the PLO will be the only force holding weapons in Gaza without any linkage to Israel. Without this, without the two-state solution, I don't think Israel will be able to disarm the Palestinian resistance or disarm Hamas. This recognition is not based on our analysis, but from the statements of the Israeli side, especially the chief of staff Navy, that he said he cannot eliminate Hamas because it is an idea, not persons.
Yes.
He cannot disarm the resistance because it will be hidden underground. So Hamas can never be disarmed, and Hamas will never be able to eliminate Hamas except only the known leaders, and it will fail over and over again, especially that it already failed in the West Bank to oppress the Hamas movement or disarm it or confiscate the weapons. That's why the Egyptian vision now is the best option for the Israeli state to establish a sovereign state for Palestine on the borders of 1967 to have a complete and comprehensive peace. This initiative actually would be favorable to the United States as well, especially Trump, because he wants to the Ibrahimi agreements to take force, which will be raised at the summit tomorrow. There is an Arab consensus and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who spoke loud and clear that the Saudi Arabia will not grant Israel free peace, but in exchange for peace, we need to have a Palestinian state in exchange for peace.